Athletic feats meet serious personal failing.
You are the new single-season home run king!
Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 greatest falls from grace in the sports world. For this list, we looked for athletes or sports personalities who were at the center of the biggest scandals in recent sports history.
I was introduced to steroids. I mean, steroids was when the gyms that you work out, back in the day, that was it. It was readily available.
Some are cheaters, others are schemers, and some are downright violent.
They removed 66 dogs and exhumed the bodies of 8 more.
In each case, their athletic achievements are overshadowed by their less than sportsmanlike behavior, and they went from hero to zero in the public eye real fast. Number 10. Roger Clemens.
Clemens has set a major league record for strikeouts in a game.
Although he's one of baseball's greatest pitchers, the controversies surrounding Clemens make him equally great for gossip.
You can't take up the better part of the bat, the fat part of the bat, and fire it into foul territory near Piazza. Obviously, Piazza didn't mean to do that.
A notorious diva, he's been accused of using anabolic steroids, lying to a grand jury about his doping, and of having an extramarital affair with an underage country singer.
So you did not tell Mr. Pettit that you used human growth hormones?
I did not.
Though most of this remains conjecture, and he's in good company with Sammy Sosa and Mark McGwire when it comes to the steroid allegations, it seems that Clemens' ability to dominate the pitcher's mound is equal only to his ability to dominate baseball's rumor mill.
Piazza has every right to be upset. Wow.
Number 9. Michael Vick.
At quarterback from Virginia Tech, number 7, Michael Vick!
You're paid millions of dollars to play football. What should you do with your fortune?
Michael Vick let the fans know what he thought of them in his own professional manner.
If you're Michael Vick, you'll operate an illegal dogfighting ring.
An NFL quarterback, Michael Vick, was sentenced today to 23 months in prison for his part in a dogfighting ring and fined $5,000.
What will happen to you? You'll be suspended from the NFL and serve some jail time. Then you'll make your way back to the pros, will win Comeback Player of the Year for 2010, and will eventually sign with the New York Jets for $5 million. Because apparently in the NFL, having a great arm makes up for torturing helpless animals.
Rolling and launching downfield for Deshaun Jackson, who accelerates, caught the opening play, and all the way for a touchdown! 88 yards.
Number 8. Tonya Harding.
Looked like she was uncomfortable, and I think she's going to quit. How devastating. It's so difficult to compose yourself when you're late. Your name has been introduced.
She's the bad girl of figure skating. Harding gained international notoriety when she became embroiled in one of the ice world's biggest scandals. Just before the 1994 Olympics, Harding's rival, Nancy Kerrigan, was clubbed in the leg, temporarily forcing her out of competition.
Why?
Harding's ex-husband and her bodyguard were implicated, and Harding herself was later revealed to be involved. Kicked out of competitive figure skating for life, Tonya Harding went on to illustrious careers in semi-pro boxing, reality television, and homemade pornography.
She's put a new must.
She is checking. Oh no! And Tonya landed a right to the head as Paula Jones was waving her off.
Kerrigan, on the other hand, won silver in '94.
I came here and I skated great. I had a lot of fun. I had so much support behind me, and I think everyone's glad to see me here and do as well as I did.
Number 7. Tiger Woods.
For almost 2 decades, Tiger Woods' singular focus has been one thing: winning.
Famously unflappable on the green, Tiger Woods' public persona was equally pristine. That is, until 2009.
Many questions remain over how the world's best golfer ended up in the rough situation he found himself early Friday morning just outside his Windermere, Florida home. The golf phenom, who rarely misses the fairway, somehow couldn't negotiate the roadway in his Cadillac SUV, striking a fire hydrant and then his neighbor's tree.
Turns out that the clean-cut family man was a prolific philanderer with a penchant for kinky, pill-popping sex.
I was unfaithful. I had affairs. I cheated. What I did is not acceptable, and I am the only person to blame.
The scandal cost him sponsorships, his marriage, and for a while, his golf game. But with the likes of Nike sticking by him, Woods' fall from grace was only temporary.
I want to find out what your feelings are, and did you learn anything?
Back winning PGA tournaments, this reformed bad boy is as popular as ever.
Tiger Woods sends a message to the PGA Tour here in 2013 with the win in his first tournament of the season.
Number 6, Marion Jones.
Jones is away quickly. Moving with her is Sabathia Fines. It's Jones and Sabathia Fines. Thanu with Greece trying to come on. Marion Jones has control of the race. Thanu is going to be second.
Winning 5 medals, including 3 golds at the Sydney Olympics, Marion Jones' athletic feats seemed almost superhuman. Because, well, they were.
There exists no one who can truthfully testify that I have ever used performance-enhancing drugs simply for the reason that I never have.
However, after years of denials, in 2007, the celebrated Olympian admitted to using steroids throughout her career as part of the Balco scandal, and was promptly stripped of her medals and banned from competition.
I want you to know that I have been dishonest. And you have the right to be angry with me.
Jones also served 6 months in jail for lying to federal agents and check fraud. The first female track and field star to make millions, Jones has since faced serious financial and personal struggles.
Like, how did this happen? How in the world is my worst nightmare actually happening?
Number 5, Ben Johnson.
Here in Seoul, South Korea, all Canadians are standing proudly.
Canadian speed demon Ben Johnson won gold for the 100-meter dash at the Seoul Olympics in record time.
You know, when I'm at my best, there's nobody can match me.
However, within days of his victory, Johnson tested positive for steroids. And sure, we know now that pretty much everyone was doping in Seoul, but at the time, Johnson was one of the few who got caught.
You made a decision to go on steroids.
Yes.
Some Winstrol tablets contain a little white vial. Did you know they were banned?
In certain ways, yes.
He lost his gold, was barred from competition, and eventually made several comebacks, all of which ended in more drug accusations. Once considered the world's fastest man, Johnson's rapid rise to stardom became a swift plummet into permanent infamy.
Good evening. The nation is in shock tonight over the downfall of a Canadian hero.
Number 4, Lance Armstrong.
Lance Armstrong made 2 appearances at Livestrong's 15th anniversary this weekend, but he didn't concede much.
People ask me a lot, how you doing? And I tell them, I say, well, I've been better.
Live strong, cheat stronger. Lance Armstrong won the Tour de France 7 times in a row. He beat cancer and built a charity. Throughout his career, Armstrong brazenly denied allegations of steroid use. Then, in 2013, under serious duress, Armstrong finally admitted to doping.
Yes or no? In all 7 of your Tour de France victories, did you ever take banned substances or blood dope?
Yes.
He was stripped of his awards, removed from the charity he founded, and lost millions of dollars in sponsorships.
Like Domino's, big money sponsors are dropping the disgraced champion in droves. Anheuser-Busch, FRS sports drinks, Trek bicycles, Giro helmets, 24-hour fitness, and the biggest of the big, Nike.
Faced with a barrage of legal troubles, it seems that for Lance Armstrong, drugs did pay, until they didn't.
I told you that I owe a lot of people apologies, and the obvious ones, the ones that we know by name. Mm-hmm. The Frankies, the Betsy's, the Greg LeMonds, the Tyler Hamiltons, the Floyd Landises, the M. O'Reillys. I owe them apologies. And whenever they're ready, I will give them.
Number 3, Pete Rose.
He fires, Rose swings. There it is, there it is, get out! Get out, all right! Hit number 4192.
Winner of 3 World Series, a 17-time All-Star, and baseball's all-time hits leader, a bet on Pete Rose's team would probably be a safe wager. Unless, of course, you're actually Pete Rose.
I'm happy to look in the camera now and say I never bet on baseball, and I never bet on Cincinnati Red baseball.
Caught placing bets on the teams he played for and coached, this high-stakes gambler was banned from the game that made him rich in 1989. Despite being one of the best players in MLB history, Pete Rose is ineligible for the Hall of Fame, and his legacy is forever tarnished.
Did you bet on baseball?
Yes, I did, and that was my mistake, not coming clean a lot earlier.
Number 2, Oscar Pistorius.
There's Pistorius, the double amputee, Blade Runner so called, but well received here. A man who has achieved so much.
Called the fastest man on no legs, Oscar Pistorius was the first double-leg amputee to compete against athletes who were not physically disabled at the 2012 Summer Olympics. A man who had been inspirational to millions, Pistorius shocked the world when he shot and killed his girlfriend in 2013. A tragedy that Pistorius maintains was accidental.
The once proud Olympian broke down at his first court appearance, weeping as a judge announced he would be charged with premeditated murder.
Regardless of what the courts say, because of the horrific nature of his crime and his public meltdowns, in the court of public opinion, Oscar Pistorius is a fallen hero.
The world's most famous double amputee is coming to terms with his catastrophic fall from grace, from sporting hero to murder suspect.
Before we unveil our pick for number 1, here are a few honorable, or in this case dishonorable, mentions.
The 23-year-old former New England Patriot tight end stood handcuffed in a T-shirt as prosecutors laid out the case against him. 6 charges in all, including the murder of his associate and semi-pro football player, Odin Lloyd.
Gilbert Arenas took 25 shots in yet another Washington loss. And when it was over, he took responsibility for bringing guns into the Wizards' locker room.
Baseball legend and investor Lenny Dykstra has been arrested, and the U.S. Attorney says he will be charged with 1 count of bankruptcy fraud for embezzlement.
Jerry Sandusky back in cuffs, wearing a Penn State tracksuit taken from his home in the middle of the afternoon, and today charged with abusing 2 more children.
Sandusky, who we saw driving away from his home on Thursday, is now, quote, devastated, his attorney tells ABC News, that Joe Paterno has been fired as a result of this scandal.
Tonight's storyline was to have been the alleged demise of my character, Mr. McMahon. However, in reality, WWE superstar Chris Benoit, his wife Nancy, and their son Daniel are dead. Their bodies were discovered this afternoon in their new suburban Atlanta home.
Number 1, O.J. Simpson.
I'm just going to leave. I'm just going to go in the cold. That's all I'm going to do. That's all I'm trying to do.
Accused of 2 murders, guilty of kidnapping and armed robbery, and, oh yeah, he was once a star NFL running back.
The man of the hour, the week, and the year was number 32, the man they call the Juice.
The Juice's demise was a full-blown public spectacle. The car chase, the bizarre court proceedings, it was all televised.
We, the jury, in the above entitled action, find the defendant, Orenthal James Simpson, not guilty of the crime of murder.
Found not guilty of the 1994 murder of his ex-wife and her friend. His innocence remains questionable. In fact, he was later found liable for their wrongful deaths in a civil trial.
We finally have justice for Ron and Nicole.
This, plus ongoing criminal activities, has completely erased Simpson's athletic legacy. And that's why he's our number 1.
I didn't know if he was arrogant or ignorant or both. And during the trial and through this proceeding, I got the answer. And it was both.
Do you agree with our list? What sports scandal have we overlooked? For more salacious and sporty top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.
I think it's time for a 3-sweet break.
Me too.
Okay, boss.